We're going down with the ship. Well, not the ship, the boat in Small World was sinking, and fans were fuming over it.
Disney visitors fume after getting stranded on an iconic ride, which is It's a Small World.
But why are they fuming? I think that would be fun. Like, if it's something that doesn't happen too often.
Wait, you think it'd be fun?
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's something different. How many chances do you get to actually go down on the sinking ship on Small World in Disneyland?
Yeah, but did they get an in-show exit? Let's go over this article from the New York Post. Says visitors to Disney's theme parks are fuming after being marooned on a slow boat to nowhere while going on the famous It's a Small World ride.
By the way, we're Bruce and Connie from Unlocking the Magic podcast. You can check us out, unlockingthemagic.com. Hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the podcast. And thank you so much for tuning in.
And we hope you like it.
We hope you like it. Back to the show.
The attraction where riders float through a covered area that features over 300 animatronic dolls that saying it's a small world, after all, has been an iconic part of various Disney parks. Everyone knows, I think they do, this attraction and the song that goes along with it, which I think might be the reason for the fuming.
That being said, the Disneyland version is greater than the Disney World version, and one rider took to Twitter and said, I don't think I've ever seen this happen before.
Really?
As the boat sank and the cast members were trying to help them unsink it and get the passengers off of the boat because it was going down with the ship.
Other customers chimed in, haha, we're a few boats behind, lucky enough to be stuck still inside the air conditioning. That's a good, listen, especially the Walt Disney World version, you're right. Like, the Disneyland version is a lot better in a lot of ways because it's the nostalgic, it's the OG, the original one. But the being stuck in the AC in either parks is not a bad perk.
No, well, the outside, the Disneyland version, the way it's different than the Disney World version is you get on the attraction outside.
Right.
And we all know California can be real hot. It's real sunny. So if you're waiting in line to get on Small World in Disneyland, you're already hot. And if you do get stuck before it gets into the building where the AC is, it tends to get a little spicy hotness.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'd want to get stuck there.
Problems at the attraction have been popping up at other locations recently, forcing riders to endure an endless loop of the hypnotic It's a Small World jingle written by the Sherman Brothers in 1963 for the Disneyland location. It is quite a tune.
You know what? How many times before you start going crazy listening to that? Like, you get on Small World and you start jingling. It's like that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza was talking about going on a date with that lady.
Yeah.
And it's like that annoying jingle you hear on the TV, he said. And then the second time you start humming it in the background. And the third time it's Costanza.
Yeah.
Is that Small World? Like, your first time you're on the attraction, you're like, you know what? This song's kind of cute. And then you start humming it. And then halfway through the attraction, you're like, get me off of this thing.
I think you think that the entire ride, you just kind of go along with it because it is visually beautiful. So you kind of forget the torture of the music sometimes because I think most of us are always grumpy. So none of us want to listen to cheerful music. Maybe that's what it is. They need to do a different beat. And it's like in the beginning, it kind of brings you in and then it goes into the full blown, It's a Small World. Like they need to transition it.
Right. So this seems to be happening. It says video posted on TikTok by user Hazy's Mom 22. What a great username.
Keep going.
Showed what appeared to be one of the boats sinking at the Florida theme park as well. So this seems to be happening at both parks, not just in Disneyland.
The TikToker called the experience, quote, torture. Do you think it's torture?
Yes.
You really, I mean.
It's a form of.
Yeah, maybe. It said, commenters on the TikTok post expressed their disdain for the ride, with one asking if they, quote, at least turned off the song, which I get it. Like, that is, again, the point of being torturous is just hearing that over and over in a loop. We often joke about it on our regular podcast about how we love and appreciate this attraction, and the Sherman Brothers we love tremendously, and we appreciate all the hard work that they have done. But it is something that, again, it's a tune that can kind of drill into your head a little too much and for too long. So I guess back to what you said earlier, I don't think it would be fun.
This said they were on the attraction stuck for 45 minutes.
Wow. So you ride this attraction on a regular time, probably what, from start to finish, it's 3 minutes.
Maybe. No, it's got to be getting on and getting off in the queue, probably 10 or 15 minutes, right? The whole time you're there listening to the song.
So you're listening to the song, and it's already getting stuck in your head. So I can only imagine what it must have been like for these poor folks that were there for that long.
That being said, you've always said you've wanted to do an in-show exit.
So, but hear me out. I don't think these folks ended up getting an in-show exit, which would have been worth it.
Yeah. We've had one time we were close to getting an in-show exit, and we were in Disneyland, which is ironic because this is in Disneyland as well. And we were on the Jungle Cruise. And it wasn't our boat, but it was the boat in front of us that stopped working. They couldn't go forward or backwards.
They dropped the anchor.
It wasn't like they were sinking. They didn't have to have an in-show exit, but they did get stuck, which made us get stuck. And we had an amazing captain. I remember his name. His name was Captain Carl. Do you remember?
Love Captain Carl.
And the amazing part about Captain Carl is they have a script they go through, right? And each cast member or skipper kind of says it in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
But when we happened to get stuck behind the boat that stopped working, Captain Carl pivoted to just telling jokes, and it's like he's done this 1,000 times where he's got stuck on there, and
Maybe
the script stopped, and he just went off course and just started talking and riffing, and it was the funnest thing ever.
It was really fun. I think a bonus again would have been the in-show exit, because that could be a whole nother topic that we can talk about, the opportunity to get to see some Disney attractions in a different way and see the mechanics. I know our kids really want and hope for that to happen almost again another time for us. By the way, another boat thing. We were in Pirates of the Caribbean in Walt Disney World, and just before we were about to board the boat to our voyage with the pirates, the entire attraction shut down.
That's right. And all the lights came on. And you know what's funny about that one is...
That was kind of an in-show exit type thing.
Real quick, back to the Skipper Car one. We actually got to go backwards back to the beginning. So we went halfway in forwards and then all the way backwards.
We backed it up.
Back to Pirates of the Caribbean. The cool thing about that, well, not so cool, is before that happened, we kind of remember it was like you smelt a little bit of like electrical fire or something.
Oh, yeah. That was not so fun.
That was not so fun. You're in line. You're next to get on the boat. And all of a sudden you smell what smells like electrical fire, and you're like, you know what? I don't think I've ever smelled that Pirates of the Caribbean before.
Like, it's definitely, there's a interesting smell in Pirates. You guys, if you're familiar with the ride, you know what I'm talking about. It's like that musty, cool ride that you're like, can't quite put your finger on, but it definitely is Pirates. But as you go through the attraction, there is fire in the buildings that are there, like happening around you. So I don't know if something just went a little
haywire. Well, it did, because the lights came on, and we actually got to see what Pirates of the Caribbean in Disney World looks like with the lights on.
That's true.
So that was not necessarily an in-show exit, although we did have to exit and not ride. But we did get to see what it kind of looks like in there with the lights on, which is kind of cool. It's always cool to see these attractions and rides, the dark ones at least, what they look like with the lights on.
I agree.
And it's always something you have to experience at least once. So
and the music there it's catchy, but it's doable.
Yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean music I could listen to, and it doesn't get stuck in your head, and it's not like it's not torture.
Yeah, not that, right? I didn't know where you were going with that.
There's something about that Small World that is, after a certain amount of time hearing that song, enough is enough.
They should do like another track of it. Like they should contact the Sherman Brothers, right? I think they're still around, right?
One of them is.
Okay, so they should contact him and say, hey, can we do like a remix of It's Small World? So when the ride goes down, we can at least offer these guests. Maybe they're not able to shut off the music for whatever reason. They can at least throw out a remix.
Yeah, they should do that. All right, you know what? The attraction's still going on, and I'm sorry you're stuck, but here's the new music we're going to play for the next couple minutes.
Here you go.
By the way, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in to us every single week on the podcast. That is it for us. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.